All right, good afternoon, everyone. It is, what time is it? It is 11:40, and I was going to update like 10 charts, so I might as well do a video and talk about them. So this way, we kill two birds with one stone. And I think under this format, I might actually do this a little bit more often, where before I take off, sometimes I'm a little frazzled. 11:40, I've been up since 4:45, and did the note, did the video, did the charts, did my trading, did the radio, had things, some things good, some things bad. So by this point I'm usually frazzled, so I can't do a video, and I go to the gym, and then I would put my stops in, and then I come back, and then I'm probably a little bit more refreshed to talk about what I'm looking at for the afternoon, which actually might be something good to do too, like something like 2:30 or quarter to 3 where we're at, so you know what I'm still in, so you get a little bit of head start on the close in the next day, even though it does change by the close. But anyway, here we are. It's Monday. Unfortunately, when I was done with the morning call, I looked at my phone, and it said Symantec, Broadcom, C-Steel. Okay, that's unfortunate. It would be much better if there was a $28 deal. But if you think about what we did, is we bought the $22 calls for 19 cents. We sold some for like 40 cents plus, and then sold a lot at 375 and 4. I was down to like 90% of what I had, and it was a huge winner. And then I took some of that money and I bought the 26s, which wasn't a big deal. They were 50 cents each, a lot less than I had. But then unfortunately on Friday, we were sitting there. I'm in Short Hills. It's after a long week, and guys like, oh look, Symantec's up 50 cents after hours. Let me just buy a little bit. Who cares? Got too complacent, and complacency is how you lose your discipline. If you lose your discipline, you lose money that you didn't have to lose. So anyway, I bought some, and then thank goodness this morning, you see on the VTF, and actually I didn't post the VTF, so you guys didn't even know I bought that. So most people in Red All Access didn't have the stock, only had the options, which you did better. You just didn't make on the last portion, big deal. Anyway, you look here, so they walked away from the deal, and now I just won't look at it again. It's unnecessary. SYMC. It opened down here. Whatever. It is what it is. Sometimes, listen, a binary event, okay, whether it's an FDA approval, whether it's an earnings play, or whether you're playing for a takeover, you need options, because anything could always happen. If you think you know exactly what's going to happen, then you're probably going to jail, because that's inside information. We kind of thought it would go higher because we saw all the option prints, but who knows who's right and who's wrong. And anyway, they probably were at the table, and then last minute they wanted 28, and they said, no, maybe you should get 26, and they said no, and it fell apart, because it is what it is. So that's that. Let's talk about the indices. So go to the SPX. All in all, here's your big macro chart. This is a chart that I posted. Not the end of the world. It opened above 3013. I talked to you guys about selling some strength no matter what you have. So if you sold some strength or added to your short, I was short the spiders, so I added a little bit, and then I took some off. All in all, though, it's not the end of the world that it's down a little bit. If you sell some strength, it does not matter. You could buy some back. Look how extended it was from the 8-day. This high here is what I didn't update this. This is 373. I'm not sure if it's even below that. 300 dot. Let's see, dot 73. So that. So this is your new high now. Your new point of reference, 301.25. I have a little less short than I had overnight, because I think this trend kind of continues. I'm just navigating it. But at this point, still in a little bit of a hedge. I still think, you know what, it's going well. It's just extended from here, and that's that. So I still have a little short on. I covered some in the hole, and I'm not ready to buy it back. If you remember, I was short. Where was I short? I was short like into here, and then because it was extended from the gap and this and that, and then here is when we did this red dog reversal. I actually bought the spiders, and then I held it for 2 days. So I do trade the spiders from the long side also, not just as a hedge. I usually put it on as a hedge if I have 10 longs in positions, and all of a sudden we're extended from the 8th day, and I'm like, you know what, I could sell some more in strength, and at the same time I'm shorting into strength. I'm also selling some of my longs into strength, so if we pull in, I could buy some of my spiders back and make a little bit of money there, and then I could also buy some of the stocks that are acting well and continue to do the portfolio approach, which is what we've been in for a while. If you look here at the trend, look at this SPX. Ever since this taking back all the moving averages, this is when the portfolio approach started. Then it held it, came up to here. If you remember, this was a bit of a red dog reversal. I think we got pretty light there. Came in, so for 4 days we weren't sure. Then once it cleared this spot, we were back involved. Then it gapped above this, and then on this day, it proved it could hold it, got more involved, and here we are. So now we'll see what's next. If you go to, some guys like, what do you think of Amazon? You know what? Amazon, if you remember, we bought the $1,900 calls for like 35 bucks, I think, on this day. And then on this day, when it broke above 1964, I sold the 1960s. And then I just, let it go. We made like $65 in points. So anyway, now, does this mean it's over? No, it means that they sold some strength. 2035. Today it's a little weaker. It's Prime Day. People are waiting for results or whatever. And look how extended it is from the 8th day. So who knows? This is probably what we want. We want it to come in so this way we can get another setup. Because right now this looks like a bull flag, but it could easily come in and test the 8th day. And at this point, if you're buying it, okay, you could use 1995 as your stop, and that's the strategy right there. Facebook didn't go green, but it also didn't fall apart. If you look at it here, all in all, an inside day, you could turn this, make this like wider now. And this is your support. As long as it holds above this, you can't get too bearish. Kind of held in here well. I did not trade in Facebook. I had too much going on. Google, I am still in. Google's acting well. Google, I had some in. Remember, I'm like, you could be long versus 1139. Well, I bought a little bit more. I didn't, and then it bounced $4. I sold some of that. Then I'm back to what I had overnight. And I'd like to see this hanging here a little bit more, and then maybe it starts to take this out. I'd actually buy some. So some of these things are all acting on their own now. Twitter, thank goodness for Twitter. The last few times it didn't work, but this time it worked well. If you remember, some guys who were asking me today on the private Twitter, what is your option expiration timeline, or how do you usually play your options? I'm like, it all depends. I'm like, when I bought Twitter, I didn't know it was going to be a bottom. It just was like, okay, it's coming into big support. Let me put an option trade on because it's not really a trade yet. So if you look at Twitter, that was down here. I think I bought the $36 calls for $1.80, which was okay. And then I said, I'm going out a month because, I want to play it for earnings. So then on this day, that's when I got into the stocks, and now I'm in the options in the stock. Went sideways, proved it could hold in there, added, took some off. Well, actually bought some weakness again, and then today added pre-market, sold some, and I'm a little less of that overnight. And this 38.60 is your next point of reference. So I guess, see how it reacts there, which is kind of right there. That's why I'm not adding to it, and then it could continue. Remember, it hasn't done a whole heck of a lot of anything since the last quarter. And I'm hearing from some sell side guys that people are starting to talk positive about their numbers, which I do see a lot of advertising, tweets, but whatever. So anyway, this has been a really nice thing to methodical. We like methodical. We like to use a tier system, and this has been working somewhat. I'm still in it. I created the call spread though today. Everyone's like, why'd you create the call spread? I'm like, you know what? Because at this point, so I don't care about them. I don't care about the calls. Because look, if you go here, I bought these for $1.70, and then I sold the 40s for $1.30. So that means I still have room all the way to 40 to make money from the 36s. So if I bought them for $1.70 to 40, what is that? $2.30 worth of gain. So it's more than 100%, and I could get $1.30 in premium. So basically, it's it's like 300%, and I could trade the stock. And so now, and if we pull in now, if we like all of a sudden we retrace a little bit and they take some time value out, I could buy in back for cheaper, like I did with that BABA play. Remember that BABA play? But anyway, that's that. So, but different, people are like, well, why was NVIDIA different? I'm like, well, NVIDIA was different because I was just playing it for not a concept, and I don't love it fundamentally. I just played it for a bounce. The market was bouncing, so I bought the 57.5s, and I did it for the week, not for the month. So anyway, let's see how, actually this is not so bad here. Let's see how this NVIDIA can go sideways for a little bit. Maybe that turns into something else, into a better trade, and maybe even tries to take back that 200-day at some particular point. We'll see. But as of right now, again, Amazon, I feel like needs some time in here, but I will look to maybe buy some calls soon or something. Google seems like it's playing catch up a little bit better. I'm not so confident to add, but I still have it. Twitter, I've taken some off. Netflix, listen, Netflix failed. It failed at 385. It happens. So anyway, so I had the stock, and I had it for a while, and I definitely played around with it in at 385, and it didn't work. And then on Friday, I'm like, I got to get out of the way because who knows where it goes. So it broke the ascending channel 377, get out of the way. I'm like, you know what? I don't like the way it looks stock-wise, but there is earnings coming up Wednesday. Maybe they're trying to do something, shake the tree, whatever. So let me nibble a little bit of options, and then if it goes down more, I'll buy more, and that's what I did. So now I have options, which is an opinion. You know, I don't have high conviction because they might just meet or they might miss, and the stock could be down to 300. But I don't care because I have the options. Risk is premium paid. Yeah, I care because I lose some money, but at least I have the, you know, the play. Like, wow, look at this. So this is where it broke. It still seems weak here. It broke this spot too, and now coming into the 50-day. Wow, the 50-day already, just like that, 364. Actually, no, 359. Where is the 50-day? It's still low here today. Yeah, 364. So what did Red Dog do? Red Dog spent a little bit of money with my risk defined. I didn't just buy the stock all the way down saying I think the earnings are going to be good because what the hell do I know? So I said I'm going to be calculated. If this is going to be any good, okay, it's going to have to take this out. So I bought some 380s for like $10 or like $7.50. I'm not putting bad money after good money after bad here. And I bought some 390s on the bid, like at 5. Because if they do surprise and everyone's all negative again, this thing will get out 385. It'll be plus 400, and the options do great. If they miss, that day we'll be able to trade the stock and probably be buying it down here, and all these options will be worthless. But I'm not buying, you know, I'm not going for it with options. I just want to be involved in the play. I like to be involved in a few of the earnings plays, and this did look better, you know, last week. But sometimes I see them do this too, and there's still 2 days left for them to, you know, rally it a little bit. But if it keeps going lower, I'm just going to sit in the options I have and say, hey, you know, it is what it is. Maybe we'll make more money trading the stock with a better setup. Square I sold last week. Okay, last Friday actually was a great trade. So now if this could hold here a few more days, maybe we could buy this for it to take out 82.66. Roku I haven't touched in a few days. Ooh, a little Red Dog reversal today. Probably should have touched it. What's a Red Dog reversal? Well, 105 went below this 101.56 or below this 102 and reclaimed it. So this is kind of proving it could hold higher, something to put on the radar. In new issue land, some of them look pretty strong. This beyond flagging again, not so bad. We had a great trade down here. If you look, remember that trade 154.20, and I sold some into this one. I sold some here, and I sold a little bit more. I got out of it. Wasn't in pain on Friday like some guys, and now it's proving it could hold higher. Heck, who knows? Maybe we even be able to buy this again above 174. We'll see. I nibbled some Uber last week. I'm not as enamored with it at all, you know, like I was in here, but I'm in some. I sold a little strength, and I'm going to stay with some. Let's hope it hangs in here. Lyft went, you know, a little sloppy, but it's still hanging around. Woke up. You have to buy, you know, you have to buy these Red Dog reversals because it can't add on strength. Right here was a decent one. You had some follow through. Right here it was a decent one. It was up a little bit today, you know. So that's that. I did nibble on this RVLV. What is it doing? RVLV. Oh wow, that's not good. Thank goodness I didn't pay up for 40, but I still have some here. I don't want to see this break this spot. I'll probably give it to here. What's this low? This low is 37. That'll be my stop. On Friday I tried to buy that LK and I just was having a bad day and I got stopped out. I didn't give it to room, and then this morning I saw a note on it. I'm like, oh, let me get back engaged and figure it out. So I bought some 1970s and I did add over 20. Let's see where it is now. It's looking much better. We'll see if it holds above this. Volume's been expanding. We'll see how it does. Does it continue? Though it's the high of the day so far. Ooh, went as high as 2057. Did it really? I didn't see that happen. Maybe when I was sitting here. 2057. A few fundamental guys were talking about the story and they think it's a $40 stock, but we'll see. Right now, it's just play it, close above 2020, and I'm going to keep it. They talk about, I think the average household in China drinks 6 glasses of coffee a month. I think it's a month or a week, something like that. In US, it's like, I think 400. So there is some room, and their population is bigger, that they go from tea to coffee, but I think they also came out with a tea, so that could help. So anyway, that's that. We'll see if it can continue and build. What else? What else? He also likes his pins, which is building. Maybe if you thought pins was going to be good at this quarter, they came out. What happened was, I think right here is when they kind of came out with their earnings and their guidance wasn't great, and now it's been accumulated again. It's building. This fundamentally, I think, this is not the high of the lifetime of pins, but again, we're talking about different time frames. So that's that. TTD and some of the cloud names, some guys did well buying it versus support, and it looks like it's continuing. It could definitely continue if it wants to. Just be careful adding on strength. TWLO also, some guys bought versus this 140, and now it's rebuilding. Coop, yeah, a little sloppy, but okay. Apple's a pain in the ass, excuse my French. Went as high as 205.87, and then you haven't been able to do anything with it since. So what is this, 205.70? Went so, that's just annoying, it went so fast, and then you couldn't even buy a pull-in. Like, you had to just buy it off the bat. And then if you, now you feel vulnerable. Vulnerable. Like, you go to the 1 day, it's like, here, you had to do this so fast, and now if you're sitting here, you're sitting all day long. So if you are an Apple, and this is your daily chart, like if I'm an Apple, okay, which I'm not, I might be, and people say sometimes, red dog, where would you put your stop? If you're long it thinking it's going to be okay and close well, I would say, okay, I would put my stop right here, 204.70. If Apple's going to be any good, it should not break below this 204.70. If it hangs and stays above it, then maybe there's a chance if the market wants to rally into the close that, it takes this out for later. But you got to see that. Let's see what's Google doing in intraday. Google's acting well. Now I would say Google should probably, I would hope it holds this 1146 area. From the low this morning to up to here, which is prior resistance, which is that breakout area. Now, it's hard to put a stop in now because stop would really be the low of the day. My stop earlier was 11, like this support area, which it held. So now it's just a matter of if it's going to hang here and really be special for a better action later. So if you want to be perfect and take something off, you take it off here and then you say, I'm going to try and buy it back here. But then if it doesn't get there and holds and goes, you're not going to be in your stock. So you have to figure that out. Was Twitter. All right. Twitter, in the 5 minute, just broke this. I guess the market's making a little move lower. It's not the end of the world. I'm very small there, and I have the call spread, so now I don't care as much. Facebook. Facebook, rising trend line. If I was playing Facebook, saying I bought the weakness today, which I didn't, I would say, okay, it's got to hold here. If this doesn't hold, I'd get out of the way. So this would be my stop. Now this almost looks like a little bit of a head and shoulders top pattern where it breaks this. It could come in a decent amount and break this little trend line. Just a little thought. All right, anyway, it's 11:58. This is like 20 minutes long, so maybe you'll watch this with your lunch, and by that time, things could change. I've managed some positions. Symantec was unfortunate, but it happens. Remember the rules for binary events. Twitter was fantastic. You could have added through 38 and took some off and created your call spread. Google's hanging in. Amazon needs a little time. Apple, we'll see if it holds that area. Just went over. Cloud names were good on weakness. The new issues are neither here or there, but we're getting some setups again to figure out, and then we'll see how we are near the close. Hopefully you're having a decent day, and it's only Monday, so stay the course and keep smiling. Later. Let's see if I figure out how to turn this off. Freddie, what do I press? Freddie's the man. Just show me what I do. Where'd you go? Oh, fade.